Pottawatomie County Commissioners on Monday opted against changing the spelling of Junietta Road and instead voted to install county signs acknowledging the historic Junietta farm for which the area is named for. The spelling change request had come from resident Dave Nelson but received some pushback from resident Rick Anderson, who says the burden for changing documents would be too much for residents who live on that road.
It is of no benefit to the county, it's of no benefit to the people that live there, and it's of absolutely no benefit to Mr. Nelson to change that name. He just wants to be able to look at the new street sign and say, I did that.
Junietta is spelled Junietta. His request was to respell it as Juniata. Resident Judson Jones, however, added that while he didn't look forward to the inconveniences, preserving the road's historical roots was important to him. Commissioner Merle Page offered a compromise at Monday's meeting.
Is it possible to have a memorial roadway or historical Junietta roadway sign without changing everybody's address? You get the best of both worlds. You get the recognition of the history. You guys don't have to go through the hassle.
Both sides agreed, and the commission on Monday voted to keep the Junietta name the way it's currently spelled while installing county signage acknowledging the history. A Manhattan man was arrested Sunday afternoon on a Riley County District Court warrant. Riley County Police say 46-year-old Brian Havens was taken into custody shortly before 3 o'clock in the 300 block of 5th Street. The warrant listed charges of failure to appear, possession of narcotics, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Authorities say the arrest stems from original meth possession charges. Havens was given a total bond of $23,000. He has since been released from custody. A local nonprofit is seeking young people to volunteer. President Michael Stubbs of the Mount Mitchell Prairie Guard says without volunteers, the group would have to pay to keep the park located south of Wamego in Wabunsee County maintained.
So far, up until this point, the annual budget's been about $30,000 a year. But now with we're going to not only have to pay a part-time executive director, we're also going to have to pay a professional company to maintain the park. Unless we get an avid army of young volunteers, us 70-year-olds, we just can't get out there like we used to.
Amid the hiring of an executive director, Stubbs says he's also pulling back on some of his duties that he's had for decades.
Mostly what's driven the decision is that I've done just about everything for the last 20 years with a wonderful board that supports me and reins me in. And, I love the board that we have. It's just fantastic. I'm doing a strategic retreat in my life right now. It's time to start pulling back.
The group has logged over 2,000 volunteer hours and includes 250 local families and supporters from across the country. Kansas U.S. Senator Roger Marshall says in-person town halls risk leading to violence, but he doesn't plan to stop holding them anytime soon. Speaking last Thursday at an agriculture forum in Kansas City, Marshall said political tensions have created a hostile environment at public events. His comments follow the recent killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a Utah college campus. Marshall has faced controversy at his own events, including walking out of a heckled town hall in Oakley earlier this year. He also discussed agriculture policy at the forum, warning that trade deals alone won't solve farm challenges and calling the national debt the greatest threat to U.S. success. A Kansas judge has dismissed Attorney General Chris Kobach's lawsuit against Governor Laura Kelly's administration over the release of Kansans' personal data. District Judge Teresa Watson ruled Tuesday that the case was not ripe for court, noting the state is still pursuing a federal administrative appeal. Kobach sued Department for Children and Families Secretary Laura Howard after she refused to turn over Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program data to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Kobach argued Kansas risked losing $10.4 million in federal administrative funding. He blasted the ruling, accusing Kelly of political theatrics and saying needy Kansans will pay the price. Kelly, however, countered that no money has been lost and praised the court for throwing out what she called Kobach's low-rent political theater. The USDA has said any funding loss would apply only to administrative costs, not to SNAP benefits themselves. I'm Brandon Peoples, News Radio KMAN.
Good morning, I'm Mitch Fortner with sports. K-State sophomore Simon McClendon has been named the Ray Guy Award Punter of the Week, as he averaged 51 yards on his 4 attempts last week against UCF in the win 34-20, as 3 of his 4 punts went for at least 45 yards. On Tuesday, Royals general manager J.J. Piccolo announced longtime catcher Salvador Perez will remain with the club for the 2026 season. Perez, who's 35 years old, holds a $13.5 million club option that he will either pick up or work into a new deal. The Royals hope Perez finishes his career in Kansas City. And wildcard game ones yesterday for the Major League Baseball playoffs. The Tigers beat the Guardians 2-1 on the road. Cubs a home victory over the San Diego Padres 3-1. Same score for the Yankees and Red Sox. Red Sox win at Yankee Stadium 3-1, and the Dodgers defeat the Reds 10-5. I'm Mitch Fortner with sports.